Hello guys, good day. This is Anne of Reinforcement Club, your fellow positive reinforcer. Today I am going to bring up the unsexy truth about discipline and success. Now I am not a perfectly disciplined person, but I have learned, because I've encountered a lot of failures, and one of them is the way back when I failed 5 times in the English test that my dad couldn't trust me anymore to even sponsor me or spare me some money to take the test again. My dad lose trust, and even myself, I don't know what to do because I couldn't pass. It's just that my goal, my vision, my dream to pass the English test have saved me. Plus my anger. Why I couldn't pass. So I must get the passing grade. Because of the failures and my dad couldn't trust me anymore if I could pass it. That was 5 times, and every exam I have to pay. And our salary in the Philippines way back that time is I need to save it up for a couple of months so I can pay the tests. And my dad couldn't sponsor me anymore because he's not sure if I could make it. And that was one of the most hurtful moments that ever happened to me, that even in my 4th times of trying to pass the exam, I already have a discipline. So in the 5th time, I must bring up more, better, hard work, and much discipline so I can get it. Now, I was able to get myself to abroad and work in Ireland this time because of that happening. Success isn't sexy because it requires discipline on purpose. And the way discipline is boring. You have to follow a structure, a routine every day, which help you get prepared to your upcoming, tests, or which could help you prepare to your goal, which you are looking forward after a year or 2, like buying a house. So you must have control over your expenses and where your money is going, which could help you buy a house depending on your time frame. Maybe next year, 2 years. So you must structure yourself accordingly because you have a goal. That is discipline. Now, people find discipline word as harsh because, the way some people wants to pursue their goal according to their motivation. And the problem about motivation is that motivation is based on feelings or emotion. And it's unreliable because, the way we're not going to be 100% every day. Sometimes we like to study. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we like to study more. And the next day we don't. But with discipline, looking forward to your vision and hardly targeting your goal, like a a focus, laser focus on your goal. Whether you like it or not, you have to study because you have a goal. What the heck? Feeling doesn't matter whether you like it or not, whether, you feel, whether if it's a hard time today when you have a breakup, you're still going to do it because you're looking forward to your goal of getting your goal in time. It could be 1 year or 2 years, 5 years. You must do things, that it's essential to do this for you to prepare, to be deserving to your goal in the right time. Otherwise, there is a high chances that you might not gonna get it. And because you don't want any excuses, you really want to get it by hook or by crook, you will do whatever it takes, even if it's boring, even if you don't like it, you still study, you still do your routine because you want it so badly. Now, what is discipline? The one they call a harsh word. Discipline is the ability to consistently control your actions, emotions, and behaviors in pursuit of a desired outcome, even if it's difficult or uncomfortable. Yes, it's always going to be uncomfortable because if we base our discipline on motivation, our feelings, there's a great possibility that it's not going to work. Because some days we flop, some days we succeed, but with discipline, with a hyper focus of our ultimate goal, our emotion doesn't matter. We still do it anyway. We still get the job done. Now, I I would say that, discipline isn't happiness, isn't a sexy word, isn't a cloud nine. Even myself, when I have a goal a year or 2 years from now, 5 years from now, which is true, I have a goal 4 to 5 years from now. I wanted to do something financially. So it's not sexy because it narrows down my choices today, which means that discipline lacks of this so-called instant gratification. I am looking forward to get this. Let's just say, I would say like 5 years from now, planning to buy another property or acquire a business. I have choices. And, this time in the now, I got to be wise on my purchase, on my choices. It limits my expenses, the way I spend money. But I got to, I have to allocate my assets properly so I can be deserving to my goal 5 years from now. And that's, that isn't sexy because I don't have the result yet. I'm just looking forward to get it in time, which I am making sure that I'm really going to get it. And this requires me discipline, and that isn't sexy. So discipline is like a trade-off. Trade off the price that you have to pay to get what you really want, to become who you want to be. Now, why is discipline important when you have a goal? It is indeed important because it helps you build a structure of what you're going to do every day, every week, every month, so that you can accomplish this in a year. It helps you become the kind of person you want to become in time. Now, when you have a goal and you have structured your day-to-day routine on that goal, you build your life on that goal, which means that by discipline, you can consistently comply to those routine until those routine becomes your habit, until in time of doing it over and over again, you're going to become the kind of person you want to be. And for sure, that wouldn't be easy. It's going to be uncomfortable in the first couple of weeks, months. But once those habit finally kicks into your head, kicks into your body, it's like you do it instantly even without thinking about it, then there'll be less, emotional hindrance every time you do your routine to accomplish your goal in a certain period. What I'm trying to say is there'll be less, should I say, emotional hindrance. Our brain is bound to keep us safe. And when we try to think outside the box, it seems like it's hard. But when we finally get started and we finally have the so-called momentum, and we started to do it, we started to be happy, to get the happiness by means of accomplishing it. And that's already our happiness, even though if it's small. And then we do it again and again and again. It seems like just automatic. No more emotional hindrance. No more brain giving out to us because we've done something different today. Now, as I've mentioned before, discipline helps you become consistent. And once you finally get to the consistency part, once you finally get yourself to consistently do it, even though if it's uncomfortable, when you finally get the momentum part that, you're already moving, all you have to do is to get to the finish line, and that's already happiness. That's already dopamine. It wouldn't be fun, when people look at you that way. And then when you wake up in the morning, you're gonna have a kickstart a little bit hard, and then you do some actions. You wake up in the morning, let's just say 6 a.m, because you want to exercise, you want to look after your health, and you want to run your company, or you want to be a better employee who is never, you don't want to be late anymore. You wake up early, 6 a.m, but at the same time, you look after your health. You eat breakfast, or you eat breakfast and work out, or you work out, then eat breakfast and go to work. Never been late. You want to make changes so you can be a good leader in your team, at work, a better employee than before at work. So that requires discipline. And those type of discipline isn't a big thing. You just have to tweak a little bit of, you know, change a little bit of change in your daily routine, that you wake up late and then you get up late and then you're late at work. You just have to, change your wake up time, maybe 5:30 or 15 minutes before 6, and then you can have time for yourself, whatever you want to do, meditate, and then go to work early, ready for action. And for the first couple of days and week, it wouldn't be easy though. Sometimes you have to carry or push yourself to get up in the morning, or even to some instances when you have upcoming exam, you have to study with all the distractions. You want to get distracted intentionally, but you're looking forward to pass that exam because that exam is quite important to you. So you got to study. You got to stay in your room, read, and study the topic. After you just said no to your friends that you're going to hang out somewhere in the pub or club, because your goal to pass the test is important. And besides, there will always be plenty of time to go out with your friends once you finish and pass the exam. Now, other than having a routine every day to consistently do it for the sake of your goal, and you finally get used to it, discipline, having that behavior will also help you overcome obstacles in case that, you failed. And let's just say you failed in your exam. It's like what happened to me before. I failed 5 times. I did have discipline in those days. But as I failed on the 3rd take, I tried to build, myself up again, be more focused, give much hard work until I failed again in the 4th time, and to finally pass in the 5th time. For the love of God, I made it. So, those times also fuel me. My anger that I can't take this. So I will do anything to get it. Other than my ultimate goal to pass that English test. And that goal and already the discipline, having this discipline already, helps me get through the failures that I faced. That I didn't stop, I didn't quit, I just keep doing it because I already have it. I can wake up early to study writing and listening and writing, reading. I already have the routine. All I have to do is to improve it and improve until I get to my goal, which it did happen. Now, I did cry. It's not easy to fail when you already work hard on your goals, but overall, I would say that it's all worth it. And the lessons I've learned along the way is that is much more important than the goal itself, because I know now when I want something I got to do, I know I have to pay a trade-off of that for that goal. Which means that I have to tweak my routine. I have to tweak myself a little bit, or it could be more, to be able for me to be deserving to that goal that I want, to my aim, to my dream. And that takes discipline. And with discipline, we're going to have a strengthened focus, which means that discipline, your consistency keeps you from distraction. Keep your eyes on the prize. Regardless of the temptations in front of you, the opportunity to go out with your friends, hang out with them in the club, travel, but you have an upcoming exam, so you have the power to say no, because your goal and your discipline, your routine, your rituals to be deserving to have that passing grade is much important than those, distractions at the moment, as well as procrastination. You might want to ask yourself every time you say no to study, no to getting up early, you might want to ask yourself, do I really want this? Do I really want my goal so bad that I'd do anything for it? Otherwise, if your goals aren't important, you don't want it that bad, then you would always going to end up procrastinating, even if you finally structured your day. And what's good about discipline is that it can also be a part of you. It's like when it's already part of you that you're waking up early because you want to change a thing, you want to be a better leader to your teammates, you want to be a better employee, you want to look after your health. The rewards are like absolutely amazing. That you can reap the rewards throughout your lifetime. In a way that those actions that you do for your goals every day can become you, become your habits, and it will even eventually become your conviction. Like for myself, I started working out since 2016. Every time I cannot go to the gym, every time I can't work out, I feel like there's something missing in my life. I feel like I'm not myself. The way I am not, I don't go to the gym every day. I still work even though I have four offs in a week. I have a time for myself and then go to the gym 3 times, maybe an hour and a half. So 3 to 4 times a week. And that's already a habit. And if I don't go to the gym, if I don't work out, it feels like I'm not serving myself enough. And I want to live up to 80 years old. And every time I tell myself I'm not going to the gym, I remember that 80-year-old self of mine that, if I don't do this today, could I ever get to you, my 80 years old self? Otherwise, I better go. So when you have a discipline, you're going to reap the fruit for the rest of your life because it's going to be part of you. And you're going to learn a lot from yourself along the way. And even in life. If you cannot discipline yourself, life will discipline you. So I got this from Grant Cardone. Anyway, all in all, success loves boring, which means that no shortcuts, no hacks. If you really want to get to the next level, you got to do the hard work. Success is old school, something like that. Discipline is the bridge between who you are now, who you are today, and who you want to become in time, in the future. Your future you. And every time you say no to discipline, you procrastinate, you try to pull yourself away. You give yourself, your old self, an opportunity to stay where you are, stay on your lane, stay to your current self. You rob yourself an opportunity to level up, to become that future self that you're aiming to be. And, discipline won't feel exciting, but it does work. Hard work does pay off in time. Now, I hope I shared something valuable today. If you ever love this episode, you can share this to your family and friends. You can follow me in YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, even an X. Reinforce Me Club. By the way, this is Anne, your fellow positive reinforcer. I do appreciate your time and have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.